Good evening, friends. You can expect more stimulus money. Many Americans will be able to receive thousands of dollars this year from their state government. Leftover crisis funds are also being allocated towards these new programs. Also, to say thank you for being part of this community, I will be announcing several more winners this coming Friday for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter these weekly giveaway, friends, all you need to do is click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, dear friends, the greater your chances of winning these giveaways. Millions of Americans received at least 3 federal stimulus checks throughout the crisis. So you will be pleased to know that more crisis funds will be coming your way this fall. In over a dozen U.S. states, taxpayers have the opportunity to qualify for stimulus checks, tax rebates, or rent relief payments through the newly implemented special programs this year. Each state has its own specific criteria for eligibility, and these payments are primarily funded by tax revenue surpluses. In addition to these state programs, the Internal Revenue Service is issuing refunds to about 1.6 million taxpayers.
Without objection, the gentleman from South Carolina is recognized for 1 minute.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. President Biden has continued his fabricated excuses for Bidenomics. His message is not reality, understood by American families. According to the New York Post op-ed by Brian Rydell, senior fellow at the Manhattan Institute, Bidenomics is a record of failure, and the president has spent $5 trillion over the next decade. This spending is driving prices upward by more than 18%. Since the president took office today, cost of $10,000 for the typical household and hourly compensation has fallen by 5%. When incomes cannot keep pace with inflation and families are falling behind, few other economic variables matter, end of quote. Biden fails to recognize that inflation reached the highest rate in 40 years under his watch of borrow, tax, and spend, failing families and destroying jobs. In conclusion, God bless our troops who successfully protected America for 20 years as the global war on terrorism continues, moving from the Afghanistan safe haven to America with Biden open borders. I yield back.
In late May, Colorado's cashback tax rebate was officially signed into law, allocating $750 for individual filers and $1,500 for joint filers. The Colorado State Department of Revenue has assured that qualifying Colorado residents will automatically receive these rebates by September 30th, 2023. So, dear friends, if you reside in Colorado and you have already filed your Colorado state income tax return, there is no need for any further action on your part. However, those who file their taxes by the extended deadline of October 17th, you will receive your refund by January 31st, 2024. For most filers, the money will be delivered through direct deposit. Hawaii taxpayers who submit their 2020 state tax return on or before December 31st will be eligible for refunds ranging from $100 to $300 per person, depending on their federal adjusted gross income and filing status. For those who have already filed their taxes, there is no need to worry. The Hawaii Department of Taxation has already begun issuing these payments. Also, low-income Massachusetts residents will receive $500 relief checks. A voter-approved law mandating that excess tax revenue be returned to Massachusetts taxpayers, which means more cash is on the way. Taxpayers can expect about 13% of their 2021 state income tax liability returned to them. The Federal Reserve is expected to raise its benchmark lending rate this week to the highest level in 22 years, just 1 month after hitting pause on a historic spate of rate hikes. Moreover, the Fed could also hint at the possibility of another rate increase this year. It will be its 12th hike since it began raising rates last spring, even though inflation has steadily cooled in recent months. After the Fed's monetary policy meeting, which concludes this Wednesday, investors will be looking for more details around that potential hike. While it could happen at the September or November meeting, it is also possible that July could be the last hike of this cycle. A second hike coming in December will be unlikely, but possible if inflation reemerges because of an unforeseen economic shock. So much depends on what the economic data shows in the next 8 weeks, and things can go either way. That is why the Fed is trying to retain the option of another rate increase, just in case inflation proves to be more resilient than expected. There are 3 possibilities for what the Fed might do moving forward. There may be a second consecutive rate hike in September, another one in November, or no more rate hikes after July. It's anyone's guess what will ultimately transpire, since the economy has consistently defied expectations. Many economists are noticing better business conditions. This newfound confidence comes as inflation has slowed and the economy has held up, all on the backdrop of 10 straight rate hikes since the Fed began to lift rates in March 2022. The U.S. economy's remarkable resilience has quelled some fears of a recession in the later part of this year. The end of rate hikes would usher in the next phase of the Fed's inflation fight, which would likely be to simply hold rates steady until inflation is fully tamped down. That may take several months or even a year. But if there is one thing the Fed does not want to do, it is to give financial markets any signal that the rate cuts are coming anytime soon. Well, my magnificent and most marvelous friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video for this Tuesday. My dearest friends, thank you very much for being here and for being part of this community. To say thank you and to show my appreciation, I will be announcing several more winners this coming Friday for the Walmart gift card giveaway. My dearest friends, please make sure that you enter these giveaways by clicking and liking several of my videos, and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you watch and then comment on, friends, the greater your chances of winning the weekly giveaways. Thank you so much and have a wonderful and very blessed week.